MD, we've mastered how to get your team to be profitable. As a matter of fact, the way Dr. Uno puts it is that every person should be a profit center in your team. So we're going to learn about that. How do you make every person a profit center? We're going to learn about so many other things that's going to help you systemize making your team high performing, right? Because it's to want them to be high performing, but it's another thing to actually pull it off, right? So we're going to give you the systems of how to do that. And you know, every day this week, Dr. Wood has been giving us 7 strategies. So we might be able to get 7 strategies tonight, but the strategies have been so good. They've been so practical, and it's been amazing. So I'm going to have us start first by typing in the chat who you are. You're gonna say, I am the CEO of, and then the name your business. I'm gonna have us do that. And you know, I always try and do this for 2 reasons. Number one, I want you to own who you are, own that you are the CEO of your business, own that you are an entrepreneur, a physician entrepreneur. Um, and then I also want you to own that I also want you to be able to connect with other people, right? I want you to be able to maybe find other people that are in a similar field, or maybe in a referring field, or maybe just someone that's in your city. So put I am the CEO of, and then your business. And I'll just give you a few minutes for that. If you want for bonus extra points, you can put your city as well to see if you find somebody else in your city. So you're owning that you're the CEO, you're owning that you're a business owner, you're owning that you're making the results happen in your business, you're taking responsibility for the results that are happening in your business. Okay, Dr. Amanda Henry, I am the CEO of Internal Medicine and Vitality. Oh my goodness, that sounds wonderful. Dr. Luna says, I saw a lot of connections happening in Facebook. Yes, yes, let's connect. That's why we're a community. Not only are we a community, we're a movement. As a matter of fact, if you join PPBM, you would notice that the link to join is entremd.com/movement, because we are a movement of doctors that are making headways. We are determine that private practice is going to succeed, that our private practices are going to succeed for the sake of our community, for the sake of our patients, and for the sake of our families, right? Um, Dr. Thomas says, I'm the CEO of the Future Greater Hartford Pediatrics in Connecticut. Wonderful. Go Peds. Oh my goodness. Is there anybody else? Anybody else? Wait, is there anybody in Connecticut or close to Connecticut that we can connect with Dr. Thomas? Anybody else? Give you 1 second. All right. Well, you know, we've talked a lot this week about the profitable private practice movement, right? We've talked a lot about how it has been changing the lives and the practices of so many doctors. And so I'm going to just read some wins for you. And these wins are pretty recent. Um, and they are from doctors that are in the profitable private practice movement. This first win says that I scheduled more patients this month than in the last 3 months combined. Put your mind around that a little bit. More patients this month than in the last 3 months combined. Can you imagine? That doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen because you wish it would happen. She definitely had a strategy that she got from the movement, and she implemented it, you know? So that is amazing. Another one here, I had my highest revenue month in 3 years this January. So this person has had their practice for 3 years, but they had their highest revenue in the month of January. That's mind blowing. That is mind blowing. And those are the kind of things that could be possible for you. Those are the kind of things that the doctors in PPPM are doing. You know, those are the kind of things that are going to bring us to where we want to be in our private practices. And you know, like Dr. Udo always says, dream life, dream business. But Dr. Una's here, so I am going to get out of the way. It's been amazing talking with you, and we are looking forward to know how to optimize our teams, Dr. Una.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? All right, so today is
Day three. Makita, it's the last day. What are we going to do with ourselves tomorrow? Right? At 6 o'clock? Okay. So we have had an unbelievable 2 days. We always save the best for last, which means this day is going to be the best day. And we started off with day one. We looked at the patient flow system, like how do we set it up so we can fill our schedules, whether it's our schedules or the schedules of the doctors who come to work with us, or fill our schedules in spite of competition and all of those things. So we did that on day one. And day two, we then looked at how to get paid for the work that we do. And this is where a lot of money goes to die. We are very good physicians. We will see the patients, we'll do the great clinical care, but we also have to take care of the money as well. All right. So we talked about that yesterday. And, if you need to catch replays, we can talk about that later. Day three, today, we are going to talk about how to build a rock star team. Okay. And then we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you the most important part of it. Okay. And I have a story for you. It's going to be a fantastic story. You're going to get so much out of this. Okay. One of the other things that happened over the last 2 days is that we opened up PPPM, if you will, for enrollment with PPPM, three juicy bonuses. The doctors who are joining us now, they get to get 12 CME credits, which is unbelievably wild, right? That you can get 12 CME credits just for learning how to run your practice and make it profitable. And then get access to the physician stop doing list. Okay, because we want to get our time back. We want to buy our time back. We want to be able to check out, overnight. We want to be able to check out over the weekends and focus on other aspects of our lives, right? So we got that as well. And these are bonuses that, I mean, on their own, they're amazing. They create the transformation that you want to see. Is just ridiculous. And big congrats to the doctors who have joined. You'll be in class with us tomorrow at 12, where we'll be working on our businesses, and we'll actually be workshopping a lot of the things we're going to talk about tonight. Okay. Now in the chat, and in the chat, if you have questions about it, if you can post the questions about the movement, Makita will be happy to answer those. Okay. Now, in the chat, before we get started, I want you to type this, and I want you to make sure you type because you want your voice to be heard. I want to customize this for you. Okay. In the chat, let me know when you think about having your own rock star team that's able to serve with you, that's able to earn with you. What are the things that come to mind that make you think maybe you can't pull that off? Let me know in the chat. Okay, you think about a rock star team, there's some thoughts that come up for you. What thoughts are those? All right, want to see thoughts in the chat? Type in the chat, type in the chat. Want to customize this for you. Okay, when you think about maybe a practice, maybe you're here, you need a practice manager and you've thought about it, but you haven't hired the person because. What is the because? Right? You have people that you're like, man, I need to fire this person, but you haven't fired them because. There's a because, right? Okay, so Dr. Amanda says being able to afford staff. Dr. Amanda, you are going to get so much out of this today because a rockstar team is a profitable team, and which means that they pay for themselves, right? Dr. Bostic, diligent on time employees. Where do we find these people? Okay. Dr. Thomas, affordability. Okay. Okay. So this is fantastic. So let's look into this now. And if you have yours, make sure you put in the comments. I make sure I address yours. Okay. iPhone competent scheduler. Okay. All right. Now today I interviewed a doc on the Entremedy podcast. This episode will probably go live 2 weeks from now. And this doc is a plastic surgeon. He's a client of ours. He's been a client of ours, and he has such a phenomenal journey. So he became a client of ours a year before he started his practice. So I remember yesterday someone was asking, "Is this the right time to join, or do I join later?" This person became a client a year before, and started learning the things and started applying them in his employed position. Okay. And then he went out to start his own practice. His first month, he made six figures. Okay. Am I saying everybody will make six figures? No. But I want you to understand the kind of things that can happen. Okay. So his first month, he made six figures. By his seventh month, he had crossed seven figures in revenue for the year. By this time I was having this conversation, he's 2 months and 2 years and 2 months into his practice, and he's on track for his first seven-figure month. Okay. And so he's had like an amazing trajectory, right? So I asked him this question. I said, okay, if somebody walked up to you and said, what is the secret to your success? What are the top 3 things that are responsible for your success? He gave me 3 things. And one, yeah, Makita, it was such a fun conversation. Okay. And this is person number 2, right? Like this will be person number 2, our clients having a 7-figure month. So fun. But anyway, so I asked him that, and he mentioned 3 things. And the first thing he mentioned is his team. I want you to think about, like, you see this journey, like 6 figures in the first month, 7 figures, crossing 7 figures total revenue for the year in 7 months, and then on track for his first 7-figure month. I want you to think about this. Okay, what is the secret? He said, building a profitable team. So what I'm about to show you is a rock star of rock star strategies. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Mikita and I have talked to many physicians who are considering working with us, who have what we would consider very, very successful practices. And their practices are doing 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and they cannot pay themselves. And there are many reasons why they cannot pay themselves, but one of the reasons they can't pay themselves is because of their team. So Dr. Amanda, you were right to say, how are we going to afford these people? Okay. But the model we teach, which is the model he used, is a model where the more people you hire, the more profitable you become. So in the chat, and we're going to use the chat a lot. If you're like, I want that, type I want that. And then maybe we'll get into it. Because he said that's his secret. And I want to give you the secret to a profitable team. Okay. I want you to get that. Okay. So he had this big result. One of his secrets, he gave me 3, but one of his secrets is a profitable team. And I want to give you the secret to a profitable team. Now, not doing this translates to having a team that is a liability, having a team that will cost you, as opposed, so it's going to be an expense, not an investment. It's having a lot more people to manage, and your profit margin is disappearing. It is all around painful. Okay, it's painful on every side. So let's talk about this. Now, the secret that I'm going to talk about, this secret is what will put you in a position where your job ads will attract the right people and repel the wrong people across all roles. So we're talking front desk, MA, physician, office manager, the whole 9 yards, across all roles. It will make sure your job ad attracts the right people and repels the wrong people. It will make sure that your interview questions will pull out every single red flag that will make you want to pull out your hair if you hire those people. Okay. It will help you decide who to choose when you interview a number of candidates. It will help you create your onboarding process, your ongoing training, your evaluation. If you want to give people raises, if you want to fire people, this one thing defines all of those things. So when I start talking about it, you'll be like, oh my goodness, Dr. Una, but hear me when I say this. I run 5 companies. I use this principle. I do not hire unprofitable team members. Okay. My team members are rock stars. All right. All across the companies. I have worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of physicians at a close range. Okay. And the people who master this, their lives are radically different from the people who don't. So I want you to lean in and I want you to pay attention. Okay. All right. Now, what is the thing that you need to understand? Like, this is the one thing. If you don't get this thing, nothing else works. It's called KRAs. It's called KRAs. It's called key result areas. Okay. It's called key result areas. What does this mean? This means for every role in your company, you want to define the outcomes you want that role to create. Nobody's going to do this for you. You are going to define, like, if you are going to be a boss who is going to run a very successful private practice, and in the EntreMD world, we are committed to showing up, to teaching, to training, to modeling, to doing all of that until we make 7 figures the new floor. And I'm not talking of 7 figures and you hustle and die. I'm talking of 7 figures and you have a dream business and a dream life. Okay. All right. If you are going to have that, you must master key result areas for every team member, for every role. You must understand this. Okay. So pay attention to this. Every role needs to have a key result area. I'm going to give you an example. Every role, every team member needs to understand this is like the game of basketball, and that is the basket. Okay. So if you want to know if you're winning or not, look at my balls going into the basket. Many team members are underperforming not because of them, but because of their leaders. When I have a team member who's underperforming, the first thing I look at is not the team member, it's me, because I'm the leader. I hired them, I onboarded them, I trained them, I kept them. So no matter which way you look at it, if you have an underperforming team member, the first place to look at is the leader. It's you, it's me. If we don't define what winning looks like for our team members, they cannot win. They cannot show up at the highest level. They cannot over deliver because they have no clue what they're delivering. Okay, in the comments, let me know. If you're following so far, just say, I'm following. I'm following. Just type that in the chat. This is so important. This is so important. Okay, Dr. Thomas says, I'm following. Who else? Yes? Okay, beautiful. Key result areas. Key result areas. Like if you hear nothing else this night, just go like, okay, that's what she said. Key result areas, key result areas. Okay. Okay. They have to know what this is. Okay. And I'm going to give you an example in a second. So why is this important? Let me give you the definition of a rockstar team member. A rockstar team member is not somebody who comes on time. A rockstar team member is not somebody who works hard. A rockstar team member is not somebody who's been with you a long time. While all these things are nice, and these may be things that rockstar team members do, this is not the definition of a rockstar team member. A rockstar team member is a team member who serves and earns. They help you take care of your patients, and they help you take care of your patients in a profitable way. Their role creates revenue. And if it doesn't create revenue because it's so administrative, and there's actually probably no role like that in a private practice, they free up the person who creates the revenue. But they serve and they earn. A rockstar team member, number one, they serve and earn. Number two, they have competence and culture, which means if it's an MA, they know how to MA. They know how to do the vitals. They know how to do that, and they have the culture. So if we have a culture in my practice, we have a culture of coming on time, having integrity, doing what you said, right? Having a great attitude, right? Being innovative. Like we have a culture. So a rockstar team member, one, server earns. Number two, has competence and culture. Okay. Number three, they create a win-win-win situation. What does that mean? In their role, they generate enough revenue to pay for themselves, pay for the overhead associated with their role, and generate a profit for the practice. I had a doctor tell me, oh, I have this doctor. She's been with me 2 years. She's so amazing. She's such a hard worker. And she's coming up for renewal. I want to know what to do with her offer so that I don't lose her. I'm like, great. And I start probing and I start asking questions because I've been in this game long enough. And he says, the only problem is that she is so behind on her charting. She's so behind on her coding that she only generates her salary. I pay her overhead. And I'm like, so explain to me how this person is a rock star team member. Because you're literally having the other doctors in the office work to cover her overhead and work to generate the portion of the profit for the practice that she should be generating. Okay, if you're getting this, say I get it. I want you to type this in the chat because it would be funny if he's one random person who said that. This is private practices across the country. I talk to them all the time. And I'm like, this person is not a rockstar team member. They're costing you money. You're literally like, think about it. If they're costing you an extra $100,000, how many patients do you need to see to take care of her before you take care of what you should be doing? Okay. So a rockstar team member serves and earns, has competence and culture, and that team member creates a win-win-win situation. They pay for themselves. They pay that. So whatever their salary is, they cover that. They cover the overhead associated with their role, and they generate a profit. You might say, but am I greedy because I want a profit? Hello. If you are going to take the risk of being an entrepreneur, being responsible for the livelihood of people, bearing the burden of hiring people who are breadwinners and making sure the practice works so they can feed their families, you deserve a profit. This is not a bad thing, and profit is not a cuss word. We live in an economic world, and this is just the way it works. Okay? Okay. So are we all clear? Are we all clear on who a rockstar team member is? So we're using the same language. It doesn't mean someone who always comes to work but can never get any vitals right. That is not a rockstar team member. That is not a rockstar team member at all. Okay. Now, because this is true, then you must understand your key result areas. So I could talk and talk and talk about key result areas, but let me give you an example. So let me say that I hire, okay, Dr. Amanda, I'll even use you as an example. Dr. Amanda Henry hires a practice manager. Okay. She hires a practice manager, and this practice manager is going to cost her $70,000, $80,000, $100,000, whatever the number is. Actually, let's use 100, just easy math. Okay. All right. Now, Dr. Amanda might say, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay for this person? Okay, how am I going to pay for this person? And what you want to do, Dr. Amanda, is then you now want to say, how is this person going to serve and earn? A lot of times we have the service part figured out. We're doctors, we care about people, we want to take care of people, we want to help people. So we have that piece figured out. But how does this role generate revenue? Okay. So let's play around with some stuff. Some of this I'll be making up on the fly. Some of this is just based on experience. Okay. Okay. So let's say we're bringing in this office manager and we want this person to cover their payroll, like their own salary. We want them to cover the overhead associated with their role. And we want them to be able to cover, to generate a profit for the practice. Now, if this is the thing you have to understand, if they're able to do these three things, you pay them all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So in the corporate world, they'll usually use 4x. Like every role should create 4 times what they're paid, right? That's just a rough way of looking at it. So it covers their salary, it covers overhead, it covers all this other stuff. Okay, so regardless, right? If you pay somebody $550,000 and they generate $200,000 that year. How many of you will say, so do they cost you money or do they make you money? Is this an expense or an investment? Because once you can see that your payroll can be an investment, you will happily pay your people. If somebody, you pay them a salary of $50,000 and in working with you, they generate $200,000. Are they an expense or an investment? Expense or investment? Investment all the way, right? Let me even tell you something interesting, right? Like would you put $50,000 in a real estate syndication and a year it will give you 200,000? Let's even say 100,000 of it is overhead and it's 100,000 pure profit. Do you have a real estate deal that will do that? No. So I want you to think about it. Like your team members can be so profitable that they'll outperform your real estate portfolio. Do you guys see that? So I want us to steer away from this, oh, how will we afford them and all of those things. No. It depends on how you hire them. Because if you hire them properly and you convert your payroll into an investment, then it's all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. You'll pay them happily. In fact, you start going like, who else can I hire? Okay. All right. So let's say Dr. Amanda hires this office manager and she's like, okay, I want to make sure that this person is paying for themselves. Okay. So I have the service piece down pack. I know what I need them to do from the service angle, but what are the metrics we're going to track so we can make sure that this is a profitable role? Okay. One of the things you can do, which is something a lot of owners do, is you can say, like, so for instance, let's say you want your doctors, Dr. Amanda, I'm already giving you doctors, right? You say your doctors, you want them seeing 20 patients per day. Okay. Now, if you want them seeing 20 patients per day, but sometimes you're 15, sometimes you're 16, but your office manager works with the scheduler and ensures that every single day, every single doc has 20 patients on their schedule. Guess what she would have done? And again, we can play around with math. So let's say Dr. Amanda has 2 doctors working and they work a full schedule, so 260 days a year. Okay, so times 2 doctors, and they're seeing 20 patients a day, and each patient visit is $150. I'm making all of these things up. Guess what we just got here? $1.5 million. If she makes sure that your patient flow is such that you are bringing in $1.5 million, how many of you will be okay with that? We're only at one metric. But how she knows she's doing a good job is if every doctor is seeing 20 patients. Let me know in the chat. How many of you are like, we should name this office manager. Makita, what do we call the office manager? Give us a name. Okay, because she's already doing great. The doctors already love her. Dr. Amanda is like uppercase yes, all of them. Yeah, what's our office manager's name? Let's give our office manager a name.
Angie.
Angie. Okay, so this is Angie. Angie's doing amazing. Okay, so first thing is we want 20 patients per doc per day. That's the first metric. What are we doing? We're developing KRAs. Okay, but you were in the session yesterday, so you know that the patient flow makes you eligible for revenue, but the patient flow does not guarantee revenue. Okay, and so you're like, okay, I want my accounts receivable less than 30 days to be 80%, which means that your billing is in pristine condition. So now your office manager is the one meeting with the biller, troubleshooting the things, looking at the denials, doing all of those things, making sure that you're getting paid and you're getting paid on time. Okay? Now, you were in the session on Monday, and you looked at the things that will work on the patient flow. And you remember we said number 1 is your optimized Google business profile. And one of the things that puts your business Google profile at the top of the top is the number of reviews, number of great reviews you have. And so one of her metrics is to make sure that every month you get 20 new 5-star reviews. Okay? Because this is one of the major ways people are finding you. And you know what that means is over the course of the year, you're getting 240 new 5-star reviews. Okay? Okay, so that's what she's doing. Maybe you're like me and you don't want to hear anything about compliance, grids, VFC, OSHA, all of those things. Like just thinking about it makes your beautiful CEO brain hurt. Okay. And so one of her metrics is 100% compliance. So you don't have to think about that. So your brain is free to think about more fun stuff. Okay. All right. Let's also say that one of the things that ensures that your people have a great experience is your turnaround times. And she makes sure that the office is flowing efficiently, so people are in and out of your office in an hour or less. Okay. Now, in the comments, how many of you are like, I want an Angie? All right, and Dr. Amanda, you let me know if you want an Angie. So this person makes sure your schedule is full, make sure your billing is done, make sure your online brand is on point, make sure your patients are having a great experience, and your compliance is on point. Do you think this person will pay for themselves? Yes, 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 more yeses, a lot of yeses. Dr. Amanda's like, I want an Angie, right? Now, if you understand how to hire people based on KRAs, then guess what? There's no such thing as an expensive team member. You just have to craft how they are serving and earning. Now, so Dr. Amanda, back to you. What this now means is, Dr. Rubin, we'll send you the link before this is done. We got you. Okay. What this now means, I want you guys to follow. Now that we know the KRAs, what this means is when I want to create my job ad, I'm not going to Google to see, Give me an example of a job description of an office manager. Neither am I going to ChatGPT to do that. Why? ChatGPT doesn't know what I want, except you're feeding this into it, right? And I'm then like, okay, what job ad do I need to do so I'll attract the kind of person who wants to do this, and I'll repel the person who doesn't want to do this? When you go to the interview, you're not asking fuzzy questions. You are asking questions to see, is this person capable of delivering on these KRAs? When it's time to do the onboarding, you're not like, oh, welcome to our office. Here's your office. Here are the keys. Welcome. May the force be with you. You're not doing that because you're training them on the things that will help them deliver on these KRAs. When you have meetings with them, people ask me all the time, doctors running multi-million-dollar practices, like, what do we do in our team meetings so it doesn't just default to a random conversation? I'm like, it's all KRAs. You bring the KRAs, this is the target, this is where we want to get to. Like those of you who are already in PPPM, we've done this training, like how to run KRA-based team member meetings. Okay, so this is the target, this is where we are. Now let's troubleshoot it. Why are we not there yet? Every meeting you now have with your team member pushes you towards profitability. Do you guys see that? So the KRA, you must understand. You must understand it. Every role has to have a KRA. Now let me tell you the fun stuff, including yours. Including your Makita will tell you, she has her KRAs, I have my KRAs. And when the company evolves and our roles evolve, guess what? Her KRA gets updated, my KRA gets updated. You're like, oh, I want to delegate. I want to get all these things off my plate. And you get all the low level activities off your plate, but you don't replace them with high level activities. So guess what? Your company stays the same, except that your overhead is higher. Right? So this is something we must understand. Okay. If you got it, one more time in the chat, type I got it. I got it. If you can think this way, you join the 1% of private practice owners that think very strategically. Very strategic. It was so fun running my interview today because I could just hear the thinking. I'm like, yes, right? Profitable team members, profitable team members, profitable team members. Every team member pays for themselves, pays for the overhead associated with their role, generates a profit for the practice. Otherwise, that person is costing you money. That money is coming from somewhere. I tell my team members all the time, your salary does not come from my 401k. All right, so your role needs to create some revenue. It does not come from my 401k. All right, okay, all right, good stuff. So in the conversation that I had with this doctor, and I can't wait, the episode will be live 2 weeks from now. You really need to catch it. He talked about, the team being the thing, right? And so we've talked about the team. In fact, those of you who are in PPPM, our session tomorrow, we're going to do the upgrade your team workshop, and we're going to workshop this stuff in the different roles that you have, right? Okay. So remember, I asked him three success secrets, right? And so one of the things he said was the profitable team. And the second thing he said, what Dr. Foley, you will love it, fellow surgeon, right? Oh, you will love it so much. I can't wait for you to hear it. Okay. And then the other thing that he talked about was investing in yourself. And I was like, that's interesting. Talk to me about it, because as physicians, it seems to be a foreign concept. Like, even though we spent multiple six figures to get like a medical education, but the concept of investing in ourselves is kind of strange. And when he started working with us, he was an employed physician, so he'd get it. And he told me a story that I was like, you know what? I've never put it in those words. I'm going to borrow them. Okay. And this is what he said. He said he had a friend who also started a private practice and invested in himself and took that private practice to $1 million in revenue in a little over a year. And so he asked his friend, he said, we have real estate, we have crypto, we have all of these things, and none of them can give us a return on investment of 0 to $1 million in a year. Now, for him, he went from 0 to 100,000 in his first month, seven figures by his seventh month. And now 2 years in, almost 2.5 years in, he's on track for his first $1 million month. There is no real estate, right? Almost no real estate, because I guess you can't say never in life, right? Almost no real estate or crypto or VTSAX or any of these things that can give you that level of return on investment. Your best investment is in yourself. Okay. So Makita has a wonderful guest on here. But before I bring her on, I want to give you the opportunity to invest in yourself. And you're not investing in an investment that you're not sure would work. Okay. Because you are on this session tonight. How many of you can truthfully say, let me know in the chat, indulge me, truthfully say, you got a lot out of the short conversation we've had so far? Okay. Makita is going to come and they're going to blow your minds with her guest. How many of you can say that? And you didn't pay for this. This is the evidence of our level of commitment to you winning. We walked into this year saying, what do we need to do to make seven figures the new floor in the physician community? What do we need to do? Right? There are places where you would pay for this and you pay significantly for this. But we are showing you our level of commitment. We are showing that we are here to help you win. Okay? So I want you to look at it this way. This was not a waste of your time, even if you paid for it. So, and we have a track record of doing this. And if the workshop tomorrow is, let's go workshop this stuff, if you get to do this every single week, working on your business, where would your business be in 90 days, in 6 months, in a year? And I want you to actually stop and think about it. I asked you guys on Monday, how would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? Many of you are like 10, 10, 10, 10. So having a 10 experience every single week is like gold of gold. So if you're hesitant, I want you to have a little come to Jesus moment with yourself and ask yourself, why am I hesitant? Clearly, they can like one night, let's use 200. 200 divided by 4 is $50. Like for $50 a week, you get to work on your, like it's ridiculous when you think about it. So you have to ask yourself, why am I hesitant? Why am I hesitant? It can't be because I don't think they'll deliver. It can't be because of that. Now, you may say, oh, but I don't have the time. This is built for people who do not have time. We know who you are. That's why the bonus we put here, we actually sat down to make a list, 50 things to stop doing. And we show you how to work systematically and get these things off your plate. That's why we did that. So if you don't have the time, you only need to schedule 12 noon every Thursday, because we don't want you working at night. We want you working at work. And you're working on this stuff every single Thursday at 12 noon. And we don't tell you, here's the homework, go do it. No, we're working on the homework in real time. So then you can go on and see your patients and do whatever. And you get to do this 4 times a week. So you have time. It's only on Thursdays. You have time. Okay, so that's the first thing. Someone may say it's not the right time. And I will argue and say, you're right. The right time was a while ago, right? It was a while ago. This is the best next time. But there's never a perfect time to say, let me start working on a business. It doesn't exist. You choose. You say yes, then you make the time right. Why am I taking the time to explain this? Because I don't want you to miss out on something that has a proven track record of helping you change your practice in the best possible way just because you didn't think it through. That's what we're doing here together. Okay. You might say, I don't know if I have the money to invest in myself. Okay, come on. Okay. Like literally is $197 a month. It's $2,000 a year. And if you add the fact that you get 12 CME credits and you add the quality of what you're getting, you get me, you get people running practices over $1 million in revenue, you get to co-work, you get to do all of these things. It's almost free. Like I suspect, Makita, years from now, people be like, I paid $2,000 for PPPM. I just want to pay you an extra $10,000 because I feel like I ripped you off. Right? Okay. Or you may say, I don't know if you'll work for me. You're a physician. You have done harder things. This is all we ask from you. We come committed. We are committed to delivering at the highest level, getting you world-class strategies, doing the work to simplify them so you can just install them into your business. All of these things, we are all in committed. All we need from you is a commitment to do the work. And you have done work before. And we don't care if you do it messy. We don't care if you do it scared. We don't care about any of that. Like, you don't, it doesn't have to be perfectly done. It just needs to be done. If you're willing, if you're committed to your practice goals, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Someone may say, "Oh, I don't know about a group setting." Let me tell you something that I know for physicians, because I've worked with physicians for the last 7 years in a formal capacity. We need communities of people who are doing crazy stuff like us. Are you going to go in a physician group and say, "Ooh, 7 figures is the new floor"? They will troll you out of that group. You need to be in a place where when you say that, they're like, "Yeah, that's what we're working on. Let's go." Right? We need it. We need the examples. We need people to do it with. We need that. And that's why I'm not a big fan of one on one. I may have one on one client a year. And I don't even think in the last 2 years I've had one, because I'm just like, you need community. Okay. Okay. So this is the deal. Any mistake you make in private practice, including using the wrong vendor for toilet paper, will cost you more than $197 a month. Any mistake you make in private practice, count any one, will cost you more than $197 a month. And so I am telling you this because I want you to make the investment in yourself. Okay. So entremd.com/movement. Get yourself registered so we can see you in class tomorrow. We can send all the bonuses your way, and you can start the process of creating your dream business and your dream life. Okay. So rooting for you, rooting for you. Makita, I hear you have a guest. Let me get out of your way. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in class tomorrow. So fun.
Yes, Dr. Una, thank you so much for that. That's amazing. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. I'm so excited for the doctors I've already joined just to see how different their year is going to be. Even month, people are getting wins, within the first month of joining. So this is so good. I have a doctor here with me, Dr. Oliemisi. We are so glad to have you here, Dr. Oliemisi. Please tell us about yourself. Tell us about any wins you've gotten in private practice. And then I noticed that you are on the PPPM call every single Thursday, even though you're very busy. So also tell me some of the wins that you've gotten being on PPPM. Why are you so committed to PPPM, or what do you enjoy from PPPM?
So, hi, my name is Dr. Famiwa. I'm the CEO, founder of Montgomery Fertility Center, and I also started a podcast, Fertile Talks. I co-authored a book with Dr. Una called Made for More, number two,
Yes.
and that propelled me to launch into writing my own book that's coming out next month. And
Congratulations.
yeah, and I regularly write on Kevin MD. It's honestly, it's a cheap way for me to get more promotion because he has about almost 300,000 followers on LinkedIn. So if I write an article for him and he hums and haws about it, and
Mhm.
he lets me cross post it on my podcast. So it's like me killing one stone, um, killing what, five birds with one stone.
At least five.
I launched my own Substack and LinkedIn newsletter because I regularly do long posts, and I found out, why am I doing all this work? I could just do one long format, use it for the podcast, use it for my newsletters, use it for Kevin MD, use it for Reels, and maximize that. So anyway, so that's what I do. Um, and I think being in this group, I think the most important thing is you want to hear what's doable. I think every time I've listened to Dr. Una, I learned something new. Like even tonight, I learned something new. My mindset shifted a little bit, because you guys are probably, I was the one that I think I had a 200% turnover a couple of years ago. I was crying. I think I even had Makita come out to my office. I was like, I was crying every single, it was awful. It was hell on earth. But now I have a very good team, and I'm actually starting to see some profit for all these years of pain. But now I can dream in numbers. I can say, wow, I want to accomplish this. We do it. I signed a contract with Kaiser, which I'd been chasing for almost 20 years, and they finally approved it a couple of years ago, but we weren't getting the number of patients that we needed. And my office manager said something must be wrong. And she kept hounding them and hounding them and hounding them. Come to find out, on their referral end, the stack they had for us was filled with 87-year-old, 90-year-old congestive heart failure. And she goes, how in the world does this make sense? Whereas the list that was supposed to come to us was going somewhere in the ether. But because she persisted, now that floodgate is going to open, and they actually reimbursed very well. So that stream is going to let me dream about hiring hiring other providers that can also produce money, right? So you start to think in possibilities, and then once in a while you get a master class. I think Dr. Tolu came on a couple of weeks ago and talked about how she held. I mean, she's someone I've always like admired. I'm like, how in the world are you doing it? Well, she broke it down. She broke it down exactly how she did it, how she brought several doctors to work with her, how she in an area that they thought was saturated was able to generate multiple referrals, high stakes, by building close relationships, how she leads her virtual team of what, almost 20 some people now, and how they do a hurdle to achieve their goals. So I'll even point out, even tonight, Dr. Una broke it down. How do you think about your team members? I would never have thought of my team members the same way she broke it down tonight a couple of years ago, because I was hurting, right? But then when you think, okay, now, how do I make a KRA for my receptionist? Oh, very simple. I need to see a full schedule. And today we had yesterday was awesome. We had an excellent virtual day. Monday we had one of the highest number of booked patients. Even today, even though we started well, I do procedures. So we had three procedures in the morning, then had almost a record 15 or so number of patients before I had to go to the hospital to do another surgery, which I'm just coming out of. So
Wow.
my accountant came in the office to tidy up some numbers, and I told her, I said, look, if I take something away from you, learn this phrase: busy pays the bills. Busy pays the bills. And but the busy we had was even good because I didn't feel it. With my old team, I would see half that number and I was ready for the graveyard. I was exhausted it was like a screaming march just getting. Now my team, they know what I want. When I say I want the chart prepped, I mean I want the chart prepped, right? And then I have a virtual assistant where before every new patient, I can't keep, and I tell them, I can't hold all these patients in my brain. So you got to tell me what this next patient is about. What am I doing? What am I looking at? It's got to be typed up in a review. We have an AI that summarizes it, short paragraph. What am I doing with this patient next? So I pull up the chart, I hit the review, I get it. Everything I need to know is right there. And then my medical assistants who helps me with the protocols I'm going to use. Again, we use AI to help us narrow down. I use AI a lot. The protocols we want, we debate the protocols, we test it, boom, it's done. They go do the calendar. I don't do it anymore.
Wow.
Just little things that I was able to just delegate. I use Heidi, and I found out from one of my friends who told me you could upload your schedule into Heidi. So before I'd start Heidi, then copy and paste the patient's name or type the patient's name. No, I told them no. When I open Heidi, that schedule better be in there. All I need to do is hit the start button. And when I'm done, I finish done. They they format it and put it in the chart. I move on. My medical assistant follows behind me. I tell her what codes I'm using. She codes it, gives it to the office manager. I used to do all that before. So it was an extra, I would think, oh, it's okay. I could do it real quick. It's just an extra 5 minutes. But when you add all those 5 minutes all throughout the day, it was actually considerable time. So I learned all these little tricks of the trade, if you will, from just the day-to-day things that we get. So every single meeting I attend, I learn something. I learned something new. And then one of the things that stuck with me, that Dr. Una said when I first started, was you could be the world's best kept secret. Nobody knows you're there. I'm like, shoot, really? And then when I went through the process of co-authoring the book with her, and I saw how she marketed it, how we did the launch. And I'm like, oh, so that's how. Well, I filed all that in my head. So now I'm doing my own book. And I'm telling you, I'm coming up in podcast after podcast. I just got um uh, uh, the was it's called for you is Dr. Rosen's podcast. He's the wellness officer for Cleveland Clinic. They're like, we want you on our podcast. I get all these people pitching me, but not sitting on your laurels. I learn useful habits, right? So, and if I'm too busy to write it down, I dictate it. So, another thing I've learned to do is every weekend summarize what I did the following week. I may have to pull up my calendar to look at it, summarize it. Where did I do right? Where did I do wrong? Okay. Then, what are the top things for the next week? And is it going to help me move towards my goal for the month, which better be moving towards my goal for the year? And then I put something that I can do, one thing that's going to move the clock every day. One thing, minor. I could do more than one, but I have to do at least one. And then I like how she says, whatever you want to do has to have a time slot, right? So one of the things I'm noticing right now is I need to increase my exercise. So I need to put it on my schedule that I need to exercise. I do exercise, don't get me wrong, I do, but I want to ratchet it up. And then I could go on and on and on and on, but I think the most important thing is that every single time I interact, I learn something, right? And if I'm not sharing my wins, it's not because I don't have them. This may, I hope, please, I hope this doesn't sound arrogant, but the wins have been coming fast and furious. I don't have time to post them, but I do write them down in
It
my
doesn't
calendar.
it doesn't sound arrogant. Just say that one more time. That's
Ah,
that's
the
right.
wins have been coming fast and furious. I haven't had time to post them. That's the win. And next Saturday will be my sixth appearance on TV. This time is going to be at the CBS. I'll tell you another thing. One thing I've learned with her, be bold. Just do it. Just do it. Even when you think you might not do it, just do it. I was not going to go to the Women Who Move Maryland luncheon. It was a couple of weeks ago. And my medical assistant says, Dr. Famiua, just go. You never know who you'll meet. I'm like, goodness gracious. It's an hour drive. I really, she says, yeah, just go. Come to find, I was one of the awardees. I got a bouquet of flowers was handed to me there. I posted it, got so many traction on social media. That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone, right? It just wouldn't have happened. So, couple of things, just do it. Number two, say yes. Number three, busy pays the bills, right? Busy pays the bills. Number four, if you don't hype yourself, you are the world's best kept secret, right? And number five, if you start to doubt yourself, which I was, and Dr. Hooner held up a mirror to my face and said, whoa, 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 stop a second. Did you do that? And did you do that? I'm like, I guess I did. Right. So now I have a smug mug, and my daughter is redoing my website too, a personal one. And so now I put all these pictures over the years in the smug mug. So at the end of the year, I can look at it and say, yeah, I remember I did that. I had a photo walk. I thought it was a dream when I did it, but people pitched in. We raised money. Everybody, we raised community awareness. So yeah, I did that, right? But at the time, I was scared out of my pants to do it. So just do it. Just keep doing one little thing a day. When you do, it doesn't give you time for fear. And when you feel fear, come back to the group so somebody can slap you upside the head and set you on the right path again. Right. So, like, if I start to, oh my gosh, I don't know, wait. Didn't you do that? I'm like, yes, I did. Didn't you do that? I mean, I tell you, yesterday I was talking to my office manager, and this is crazy. And I said to her, it'd be nice if we made, if we push for 4 or 5 million. And I was like, yeah, I never know. She calls me up today and she says, this is the revenue stream going on. We just found this out. I'm like, um, I guess that dream may not be so far off, right? So I guess we're throwing it out into the universe, and maybe the universe may be saying yes. I mean, if you had told me I could write a whole book by myself, I would have I said, check the tea you're drinking because something's in it. But I did it. I didn't do it in one fell swoop. It's been since 2024. It's working on it steadily, doing 1 hour here, putting it aside, another hour here, putting it aside. And before you know it, it starts to add up, it starts to add up, it starts to add up. So yeah, and it's my life's work and I'm proud of it. But I did it slowly at a time. I guess, let me put it this way. I guess it's like climbing a mountain. Just don't look down. Just keep looking up. Because you look down, you might get dizzy and fall off. But if you keep climbing up, you don't have time to look back and say, "Oh my gosh, I should be afraid." Just keep going up. Just keep doing one thing. Just one thing. Like, I've already made a list of all the people I'm going to pitch to on my book this weekend. I sent an email. I got from the thing I attended yesterday, I got booked on the spot with 2 podcasts, and I just got another one telling me they're gonna send me dates that I right on the spot. Um, and it's okay to do your own thing, but people don't know you if you don't do on other people's platform. Shoot, I even get to do on Dr. Una's daughter's platform. Look at that. So I think when you are seeing what other people are doing, it gives you hope and it removes the fear. And honestly, every single one of them that I said, how did you do that? They've never failed. Like, I'll go to Dr. Tolu, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? What did you do? Or Dr. Obidi, how the hell are you hiring a nurse practitioner after? What did you do? And he helped me to think about it differently. He said, well, if you pay a nurse practitioner 150,000, but she makes you 500,000, I said, oh, I guess that does change the equation, doesn't it? Right? So you start to think differently because you are in the midst of people who are doing differently.
Yeah.
And then just keep doing, because I guess what I want to say is the wins don't start right away, right? Just keep doing. And then when they start coming, unless you write it down, you may not even know that the avalanche has started.
Yeah.
Just keep doing and don't put a timeline on it. Who cares about the time? Time's going to go by anyway. Just keep doing, keep putting something out, keep steadily working forward, and know that people are here to give you guidance because they're doing it. You can see what they do and you can ask.
Yeah. And now, thank you so much for that, Dr. Famayua. So let's just give her a round of applause. Let's give her some love in the comments. My goodness, Dr. Foley said it best. He said, "Thanks for this master class." We didn't know we were gonna get 2 classes today, but we did. I mean, you shared so much wisdom, and
Thank
your
you.
energy is inspirational. I mean, everything that you're doing, we're just like, what in the world? 4 million, a book, on CBS for this, and on TV TV for the sixth time, and this time it's CBS. I mean, you've done NBC, you've done Fox. I mean, I don't remember all of them, but I mean, this is really, really incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think what I love so much about your story is that your humility to learn, because I mean, for someone that has such a profitable practice, for someone that is doing these great things, you're still eager to learn. You're so eager to be in a container, like you said, where you're getting the help that you need. You're so eager to be in a container where you're getting that community that when your mind starts to tell you funny stuff, when you get in the community, it's like, oh no, I can do this. Dr. Uta
Right.
said I can do this. My teammates said I can do this. And you're
Yes.
getting a community where if you don't know how to do something, or
Ask.
you can ask and you'll get the answer. It's not like people are going to gatekeep or compete with you. Tell you. They're
Yes.
going to tell you, this is what I did. This is how I did it.
Yes.
So that makes a world of difference. You should not do this on your own. You should not try and be a private practice owner on your own. Join the community, join the movement. Any last words, Dr.
No,
Famiua?
I'm so sorry. I may have to take off because I actually had to. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to go to bed. But I think that last words is keep your eyes and ears open because you will learn even just listening to when other people get coached, when other people share, you learn. And I think one of the habits, oh yeah, one of the habits that I mean I've always done it anyway, so I just do it more, is just reading all sorts of entrepreneurial books. Now I read outside of the ones that are even assigned, and I can't get enough. And sometimes I'll read and I go back and I dissect it, and um I'm just I feel like my later days are going to be greater than my former days. I
They
just have.
are. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, it's evident. I don't think it's a feeling, it's evident. Someone did ask about your VA company. Do you
Yes.
feel comfortable
I,
sharing that?
yeah. So a couple of words of advice. I use two VAs. One is Hello Rach, and another is Pineapple. Pineapple does my social media. Pineapple, I had to be patient with her. I'm very, very picky with what I see and put out there. So it took me almost 6 to 8 months to teach her the way I want. Like she'll do something, I don't like it. It's not me. Well, what do you want? You go figure it out. Call me back and I'll let you know if it's close. And then we would go back and forth till I liked it. Now, Pineapple, with Hello Rach, I interviewed a lot of stuff, a lot of people. You gotta interview them, ask them probing questions. I really, really, really went through a lot before I found three diamonds. One of whom is an Excel spreadsheet genius who has even written program that we use to create our IVF calendars, wrote it in Excel. And I asked her, how did she do it? She goes, oh, I just went to YouTube and I learned how to program it, how to do that. So I make sure I bonus her well, let me tell you, because I don't want to lose that one. But phenomenal. And they're in the Philippines and they run my egg bank. They do all this chart prepping that I told you about. Like I told them, I don't have brain cells to spare worrying about this. I want to come to the chart. Everything had better be on my fingertip, right? And then when I make when I have this thing on my EMR where we lay out the treatment plan, it looks like a graph. That thing better be fixed. Before, when they made a mistake, I'd go fix it. I'm like, no, no, you guys will go back. You will relearn the program. We will talk about it, but you better believe you're gonna fix it. So I look at it. So I hold them responsible. Can I fix it? Yes. But do I want to spend an extra 5 minutes fixing it? Absolutely not. I have 5 minutes to do other things. So
Exactly.
holding people, so my VAP, and one of the things we do, they resume for duty virtually on Google Meets, right? The whole office holds office on Google Meets. We do have another company we could use. So if they don't show up, they're not there. And then we have a hurdle in the morning, we have an afternoon meeting, and then throughout the day, they are tracking what I do. So when I'm telling a patient, I need to give you this brochure, I need to order this, I'm not doing it. They're doing it. They're listening to me and they're doing it before I even put. stop talking. So I can
Wow.
talk to the patient, engage, but I set my expectations. Don't be shy to let people go if they don't fit those expectations. But what I did with them is I really took a long time to interview, and
Mhm.
then every one of them, they have to report. They have to have a written summary of what they accomplished. They have their KRAs. I used to worry about taking those KRAs. I don't anymore. That goes to the office manager because I have
Yeah.
other things for my brain to do, right? So hold their fire to the feet to the candle light and make them accountable. But I don't think it matters which VA company you use, because people have told me horror stories. I think, like Dr. Uno said, if you're getting horror stories, it's not them, it's you, right? Who did you pick? Did you sort them out carefully before you chose them? Did you train them? Like my social media person, I could have gotten rid of her, but I saw she was educatable, if you will.
Yeah.
So I stuck with her now. She's hit her limit in certain things, but I still use her for other things. And don't be afraid to use AI. Pay for the AI to help them get better. Don't be stingy. I gave my VA something called Opus Reels. So this is the video. You go divide it with Opus Reels. You post it. I bought Heidi AI so my VAs can help me better. Don't be afraid to spend money on AI.
Well, Dr. Famayu, we are just like so grateful. And then I didn't know you weren't feeling well. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming. This has
no
been
problem.
fantastic. This has been so fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. You've got
All
a
right.
lot of wonderful things in the comments. People have said about your wonderful work, lots of
Thank
hearts,
you.
lots of arms, raised. A lot of people are saying so many great things. And they learned a lot from you too. Congratulations.
No
Wow,
problem.
so happy for you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
people. But I just want to reiterate, yep, it's much appreciated. I just want to reiterate what Dr. Famayo is saying is that this is the container that for growth. This is the container for growth. This is the container that's going to get you to the next level. It's going to get your practice to the next level. It's going to take you where you need to be. I mean, the implementation sessions are amazing. That's how you grow. Most of what she was talking about is was found in the implementation session. And tomorrow's implementation session is all about teams. We're actually going to sit together and work on the things that we need to work on in our teams. So if you've got things that you need to work on your teams, I want you to join us. And it really is um sometimes people say they want a guarantee, but if you do month to month, that's kind of a guarantee, because if you've joined for a month and you find like, okay, you know what, this doesn't work for me, which doesn't happen often, hardly ever at all, then you can quit. You can do 197 a month and just try it out. I actually have most people that do month to month actually convert to paying for the year because it's just so valuable. So this has been amazing. Thank you everyone for your time. I feel it feels bittersweet that this time is ending, but it doesn't have to end. Again, you could see me tomorrow. You could see, Dr. Una next week. Um, and we can continue this journey. So the link is in the comments, and I hope to see you. Somebody asked, do you guys help find good help for people? We help you. We don't physically go out and look for them, but we give you the framework and the strategy to get the help. If that explains the question. We like if you're looking to hire for a private practice, if you're looking to hire, we actually tell you these are the things you should do to hire. I think Dr. Una has actually shared her hiring framework. She's actually shared some of her hiring key keywords that she uses, the things that she uses to ask for what she wants and all of that. It's very comprehensive. So we talk about three things. We talk about team, we talk about getting paid for the work you do, and we talk about your revenue. Those are the three things that we always talk about every single week. So you don't have to worry that a week won't be relevant to you. And we will give you all the tools that you need. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay, Dr. Batsa said, yes, I hired 2 excellent employees in the last 2 weeks based on the hiring info from Dr. Una. There you go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.